Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button, a junk journal slow stitch. I do that as sustainably as possible, and today I'm going to talk to you about my hero supply, my favourite supply, my desert island supply, stamp and ink. So, I don't use stickers and I don't use transfers, I don't use single-use craft items, and I find that stamps, from my very beginning of my junk journaling journey, have been a hero supply for me, and it's something that I'm constantly working away at keeping the stash supplied. So I like to have, even though I don't use stickers and stuff, I still like to have things available that I can go and grab from and make into kits. So I will get old books and I'll process them for the images and have them to one side, and then I also like to make my own. This is a really old journal of mine. This is my first ever junk journal July, and it's from, have I got a date on it? It's from when Meg Journals did it, so it's very, very, very old. I think it's 22. 2022. Again, wonderful use of a stamp there. So it's quite old, and I would still make this page again today, and I would still use these things layered up, and it's just old book pages and black ink and a stamp, so you don't even need to have all the colours. Just that's enough. You can make really lovely things. So I like to store them and stash them. I like to make them. There's a bit of a process of how I do that, and I'm just going to talk through that today. So let me know in the comments, do you do this? Do you build your supply in this way? Because I just think it's a good way to do it. So I have a tin. I call this Stamped Images, and this has like multicoloured. I add to it. It's got lots of label shapes. I've been collecting label shapes for a long time, and that's like a porthole. I got that off the front of a magazine. In fact, I think those two labels I got off the front of a magazine. That's a Prima by Redesign. I kind of will buy stamps that are meant for furniture. Labels, kind of tickets, all kinds of things, and they're just here so that I can grab them when I need them. I don't know what that's doing in there. That can go in the bin. There's also other things that shouldn't be in there. What is that doing in there? That can go in the bin. Lovely butterflies. All kinds of stuff that you can use ready to go at your fingertips. So when I'm having a time of like kind of low mojo, this is my ideal go-to project. I will kind of think, what do I need? And I know I need to build, it looks like I've got quite a lot, but this tin, was full at the beginning of the summer, and now it's not. So this tin needs to be filled. So these are, which is that Anna Griffith stamp that I've had for donkey's years. It's kind of like one of the first ever stamp sets that I bought. Do you know, I bought it off QVC, and it was before my daughter was born, but it was after I got married. So it is about 20 years old. It's about 20 years old, yeah. Might be older. It might be more like 22-ish years old. I don't know. It's old. So it's lost all its stick. It's paid its dues. It's more than paid its money. I will keep making this forever and ever and ever. And I used to do it onto book page. Then I would glue the book page to like cereal packet, and then I would snip it out because I like the idea of it being card, because you can make a covered paper clip. You can do all kinds of things if it's got like some substance to it. Now I just grab for food boxes that are white on the inside, or like kind of a pale cream colour. That's what this is. And just stamp them on. I grabbed a new ink pad, and it's kind of obviously too juicy. That's what we've done there. But you know what? Once I've cut those out, they'll work fine in a journal. But that's the ideal sort of pressure. I just stamp away, and I won't like cut them all out. I won't stamp them and then cut them out. What I will do is I'll have a time where I just will stamp stuff, and then I'll have another time where I will just fussy cut stuff. That's my process. And I kind of have certain things that I look for in stamp sets now. I store them. I store them in kind of CD cases. So this has tickets on it, and it's got a label on the outside. That's my favourite label. I love it. Like favourite big label. And I also store them in, let me just get it. I have a number of these. If you see a messy craft room tour, these are on my desk. There's some shelves above a desk, and they all look like that. And then inside they have a variety of stamps. And I get stamps from everywhere, really. I've kind of stopped buying the generic ones from Amazon, but you know, you can get generic ones from Amazon and other places. I just kind of don't want to be buying things like that anymore. But yeah, so this is from Tiger, which is a European kind of, I think it's Dutch, no, I think it's Denmark, I don't know, Denmark, somewhere in the lowlands. Yeah, they've been used with a white ink, but they're really nice. I think that might be something I quite like the idea of doing a journal like that. But they just all get sort of slotted in, and I will grab and go, can look through, or they're in my CD cases. I have one that's in a big scrapbook that's got really big IOD kind of stamps are in there. Lots and lots and lots of stamps. Lots and lots of time finding them. That's, you know, you don't need all the things straight away. I started off with very minimal things from the front of magazines, basically, because I used to subscribe to a magazine. If I was going to get, like, if I wanted to supply myself with, like, a range of really useful stamps, I would go Tim Holtz. They are expensive, but I would get, like, this is just labels. Labels are really useful. And then there's one that's like a field notes one. Let me have a look. I've got a tin that's left over from when I went crafting with a friend the other week even. So, yeah, Tim Holtz. The ones that he has are really kind of, they're going to last you a long time. See, I have millions of stamps. Millions of stamps. But if I was starting out, I would probably get something like the Field Notes one, just because that's kind of like my vibe. But I do like, my newest favourite one is this. That's stunning, that one. And that is, and I don't really want to influence you to buy stuff, but I think if you're going to supply yourself to make junk journals, buying things you can make your own products with are where, you know, it is a wise investment for money, basically. And they do lose, I don't look after things, so they do lose the stickiness. I don't look after things, but they last, like, you know, a couple of decades, so I'm not, you know, not worrying about that too much. So you can also, because I want to kind of do all things stamps or an introduction, let me know in the comments, would you like me to show you how I make my own stamps? So I make my own sort of sentiment stamps, and they will come out, and you've probably seen, like my logo is a digitally cleaned up version of this, and then I go through, I think it's in my little cabinet where I keep losing it, and then I keep finding it in like the original stamp. But these are just like, they're lovely little words. This is a very juicy stamp pad, but then that should work. Lovely little words. And I just snip up sentiment stamps that I used to get on the front of the magazines, because I don't make cards, so they were a bit useless to me otherwise. But once you kind of like cut all the letters out, you can make really unusual and completely unique to you kind of stamps. So this is like my vintage button. It's one of my vintage button things that I do. And I also use them in slow stitch. So I would stamp stuff out and then stitch over it. You know, like use it as a guide for stitching over things. Make the most of your stamps. You need good ink, but you can make your own stamps. I think having good ink, having a select few things that you have spent some money on, do what is your style, what is it that you like? Do you like, I'm whimsical, so I like butterflies and bees and birds and fairies, and I like figurines of, like, you know, people. So that's kind of what I spend my money on. And I go for really utilitarian stuff, so like the Bulldog clip and the labels that are just really, really useful. I also look at the different kinds of substrates. So I'll use vintage book pages until it comes out my ears, but I also think things on other pages are useful, particularly like an atlas is really useful. Like, unfortunately, I dropped the ink pad on this when I was setting this up, but we're not going to worry, we can even work around that. And you can just make really unusual labels again. It doesn't matter if it doesn't come out perfect. Something, you know, like I have like real antique ephemera and things are not printed off perfectly. I don't like perfection anyway. But like, if we're just gonna go, and you can pick out bits that you really like on the page. And then when you snip them out, they look really good. So I think I want, because I kind of like the colouring of this, you know, like this map. I like the colouring of it. So let's do like a little stripe in it, and then we'll cut this one out and we'll see what it looks like. You know, you can make really unusual, unique supplies with your own stuff. And it just depends on like having an eye for where you can pop your stamp down, what will look good in the background. Just roughly cut it. You know, but I will be able to get so many different stamped images, and I will probably do labels for all of that page. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't do perfection anyway. If you are not new to the Vintage Button, you will know that I am very not perfect. But look, that looks so cool. And you know, keep adding that to my tin. I will have a lovely selection of stuff that I can just grab and go. And so I wouldn't just do all the same stamp. I would do like probably, I don't know, between 5 and 10 of like one thing to put in the tin, and then I'd move on to a different type of label or a different type of stamp for that. Again, look at that, that looks so cool. Let's go for another. Where's my favourite label, because I just sort of threw a load of things at the side of me. Again, the sticky's gone off this. This is one that was from the front of a magazine. I remember getting it. I'm going to have to be careful because I've managed to get ink, because it's very juicy, this ink pad. Very juicy ink pad, and I don't want that brown. But if I get it on, I'm not going to worry about it. Not too much. So it might be nice to like have some words on a label. What's really good, if you've got like you know, the page number, just arrange your label so that the number's wherever you want it, and then you've got a stamp. Particularly if you use a different colour, it becomes like a two-tone thing, makes it look more realistic. I did get some of the ink in the middle. I'm not going to worry, because like I said, it's not perfect, and it all adds to it once you've cut it out. And you can sort of, these are the things you layer up. In that first page that I showed you, that example, you can kind of just layer things up. Add a little border, so then that makes it all a little bit bigger. It's not perfectly cut out. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. But look, you can make so many really cool stuff just by using your inks and stamps. Now I will clean that off so that it won't do that again. You can put, like, if you lose a sticky, like I could put some Pritt Stick, if I was going to do lots of them, put some, like, you know, glue stick glue and then glue it to the mounting block, which is probably something I should do, but I don't really do the word should, so I won't do it. So there's kind of other things, there's labels, there's, like, you know, using images of like bees and stuff. I love a bee. And you can go in with your kind of pens, pencil crayons. You could go in with your watercolour and make like little sort of watercolour images and then cut it out. If you're not good at drawing, I'm not. I mean, I can draw, but I'm not fantastic at it. And also sometimes I don't want to draw, but I do want to make something that looks a little bit arty. You know, use your stamps in that way. They are just so useful. So if you're having a low mojo time and you think, I don't know what to make, and if you have, and I think that like probably most people have at least a black ink pad, and go and look at whatever stamps you've got and just choose one or two of them and just get some paper, stamp away, snip them out, pop them in a tin, or even pop them in, like, you know, this is not very glamorous looking. I might have to find a tin. I do have tins to pop these in. You don't even have to fussy cut them out. You can tear them out and start building your stash of things that you can use in your junk journals, because it makes your journal completely yours. When you start making your supplies and they're your decisions about what paper I use, what colour ink I use, where I, you know, do I fussy tear it, do I fussy cut it, all of those little decisions that you make that generic stamp that's from Tim Holtz completely yours. And then you can build up that supply and it can be a completely unique supply to you. And that makes your art completely yours. You know, like all of these little things make your art completely yours. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. I am going to be doing a live on, it's Saturday, so it'll be Saturday the 29th, I think, of August 2026. There'll be a freebie printable that's things that I have made that I've been able to sort of take a photograph and make a lovely printable of it. So that will be available if you join me on that live. I'd love it if you like, shared, comment, all the things that help my little channel grow. And I hope to talk to you in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you've lasted this long, let me know. And I will talk to you soon. But build your stash. You can create your own supplies. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.